Hey guys, another episode of Rain has passed, and I can honestly say that this is the best episode of the series so far. Like, wow, it blows all the other episodes out of the water. Whew, and all the bombs dropped in this episode. I'm like, I didn't see any of them coming. And okay. Okay, I'm gonna start talking about the ladies. I like the ladies. Kenna is hit or miss for me. Sometimes I like her, sometimes I can't stand her. It's 50-50 with Kenna, though I do want to like her, I really do, so. But anyways, I'm gonna start with the ladies, because theirs aren't that important. I mean, it's important, I guess, in their lives, but really it's not important for the overarching story. But anyways, Greer and Castleroy's wedding is coming up. Yay! Like at the beginning of this episode and later, like the day before the wedding, Castleroy reveals something to Greer. It has to do with the beginning of this episode, which I'll get to later. And Greer's like, no, she's not angry about it. She's not angry about that per se, but she's more angry that he didn't tell her, They were gonna be married, they need to know stuff about each other. And Castleroy's like, if you don't want to marry me, that's fine. I'll still take care of you and your sisters. And I'm like, Castleroy, he's such a good guy. I love him. And it's the next day of their wedding ceremony, and Castleroy's waiting for Greer. It's like she's taking forever to come, and he's like, oh, he must be thinking, oh my gosh, she doesn't want to marry me. And lo and behold, he sees Greer, and then he goes down the aisle, and like a few seconds later, she walks down the aisle herself, and I was like, I knew she was gonna do it. I was like, Greer's not that petty, and she's not. If it were Kenna, maybe. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm bashing I'm really hard on Kenna. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. But anyways, and first of all, Greer's wedding dress is beautiful, beautiful, and it looks more like it actually belongs in the 15th century. It still looks kind of modern, but it's like but still, like, her and Mary's wedding dresses were the most beautiful. I didn't care for Lola or Kenna's. But anyways, yeah, and Leif is at the wedding. He's like wondering if she'll go down the aisle too, and then he sees her walk down the aisle. Oh, Greer looks so beautiful, and Leif was sad, and he left. Personally, I'm glad the Greer-Leif love story, Greer-Leif, Castleroy love triangle, all that is over. I was like, it needed to be over with, but it doesn't mean I did not feel sorry for Leif. Just as things start to get good for him, and then it sucks for him, and then it's good, and then it sucks. But I hope it's good from here on out. But anyways, and now, Greer and Castleroy are married. Yay! And Greer is the mother of 4 young stepchildren, and wow, she's already a mom now because of all those 4 stepchildren. And she's at this point in the series, she's probably 17. I'm guessing they're all 17. Wow. But I don't know if she'll have a baby this season. Maybe by the end of the season we'll know if she's pregnant or something, but I don't see her having children this season with Castleroy. But anyways, okay, now, we're gonna move on to Kenna, which leads into the Lola stuff. Kenna happens to hear something, and she walks into her chambers, or not her chambers, but somewhere, and she sees 2 servants, doing some stuff. 2 girl servants. Yeah, so I was like thinking, ugh, like the lesbian servants. I was like, really? But I'm sure, like, whenever we see a servant, we usually only see them 1 episode, so we're not gonna see them again. But still, so I don't. It doesn't matter. But still, it was like, really. But Kendall was real chill. She was like, you better hide your indiscretions more carefully, and she also, but she ends up seeing that they had this diary that someone wrote about all the court lovers in the past like 2 years, and Kenneth's like, okay, as your punishment, I'm taking this diary, and it's a sex diary basically, and Kenneth likes that stuff, and she's starting to read it, and then Lola walks in, and she's like, wants to know what it is, and Kenneth tells her about it, and she's like, she specifically talks about this guy, don't know his name yet, with a butterfly tattoo, like, on his, like, right here, not tattoo, birthmark, which, that'd be cool, but yeah, and Kenneth's like, maybe you should take a lover, like, even if it's only for a week, or it's for a year, and even if you don't fall in love or marry, at least you'll have fun, you know? And for once I agree with Kenneth, like, yeah, Lola, you should have a lover. And so Lola's just looking for, and Kenneth's helping, like, looking for the guy with the butterfly birthmark, and later in the episode, like, they're outside and they see this pretty cute count, and he's talking to someone, and Kenneth's like, ooh, that might be the guy, you know? And then later in the episode, Lola talks to that guy, that count, and it looks like they're hitting it off, and then Narcisse comes in. He's like, congratulations on your not betrothal, your son's christening, John Phillips. And then that count he was talking to was like, oh, you're the new Baron's mother, and she was like, yes. And he, like, gets out of that conversation immediately, and Lola's like, and then Narcisse is like, do you like tea? And she's like, you did that on purpose to Narcisse. It's like, of course. And he's like, do you like tea? And she's like, but he's like, do you not like tea? I mean, he basically asked her to have tea with him, and he's like, do you not like tea? And she's like, I don't like you. And he's like, you don't know me. And then she says, I know some. And he's like, you know more than others do. And, oh, they have such good chemistry. But yeah, and then he's called away to another friend, and we see that he is the guy that has the butterfly birthmark on his wrist, and like Lola, he walks away, and Lola looks shocked. She's like, I was like, I knew it was Narcisse, and as soon as Narcisse walked in on Lola and the count, I was like, yeah, he's the guy, but. Which makes sense, because I actually really want Lola and Narcisse to get together. They're like, Narcisse is so handsome, and Lola's pretty, and lovely, and she needs at least something. But yeah, I'm like, I'm glad it's Narcisse. It's like, because she saw him in a different light the last episode, and now she's like, seeing him in even another light. She's like, wow, okay. Okay, now this is like the more important stuff I'm talking about, and, okay. At the beginning of the episode, there is a secret Protestant, what do you call it? Church service, yes, and Castleroy's there. We learn later that's the secret he told Greer, and he's been, ever since he lost Yvette, he's been going to the services, and they've made him feel better, and I think he's definitely a Protestant now. It's like, I just like you more. I like Castleroy more and more. But yeah, and then these Catholics, like, come in, and they start attacking they say something, and then they start attacking Protestants, and they burned that little area on fire, and then I'm like, but I knew Castle Roar was gonna make it. But anyways, and then we learn, and then Bash tells Francis and Mary about the Protestant burning, and Lays is with him, and they go off and they find, and they're looking for the victims and then the people who set the fires, and then they find the dead bodies, and then they bring them to court, and Condi's there, and there's a dead body of a young boy, and they're obviously, Francis is like, I won't tolerate violence, blah blah blah, and then we learned that dead boy was Condi's nephew. Holy that was like, he got even sexier then when he was getting mad, and of course Condi's like wants something to be done with those Catholic prisoners, and then later we see him and Mary talking, and he reveals that he has that same mark that crazy guy who killed his family had, like the mark of the raiders, and he's like thinking that they're just and he's like, if they see this, they'll demonize me, like the Catholics, and he's like, we know those masked riders are like more like really like the more brutal Catholics, like the more radical. And yeah, but man, that was a twist, and holy crap, Louis gets hotter and hotter and more likable I love him more and more every episode, and he was smoking hot in this episode. Oh my gosh. I thought, like, he's the new hot, him and Narcisse are the new hotties of the show. I never thought Francis was hot. Bash was always attractive, and then Laith was always cute, but they were never hot to me, but woo, Narcisse and Condi are both sexy. But yeah, I have to go on that little tad bit. I mean, I'm a girl, what would you expect me to say about them? But anyways, yeah, I'm on topic. Okay, getting on topic now. The Caroline, the nanny, she's coming back. She keeps on seeing her, and she's like, Francis is like, he obviously thinks he's being, and she keeps on coming back to the castle, and Francis is getting tired of this, and she's like, I don't know, I wake up in weird places every morning. Yeah. Sorry about that English accent. I don't do accents. I was trying to do her voice. I'm like, and then later in the episode, they're outside, and it looks like Caroline is back in her Henry ghost form, and she sits on the throne, and Francis, by then, he's had enough. He like takes her, gets her away, and he like confronts her, and he's like, and it's Henry's ghost form, and he gets mad. She's like, he wants to know why he's not, and then she, like, as Henry's ghost, she's like putting the pieces together, and he knows that Francis killed his father, him, and Francis is like, yes, I did that for a reason. I killed him, but, he basically reveals that he killed Henry, and who happens to, Narcisse walks in right as Francis has told, reveals that. I'm like, he walked in at the right time, conveniently, and, also, before I go further, Narcisse was like also with that Protestant whole thing. He wasn't like one of the Catholics who did the thing, but he wanted those Catholic prisoners released anyways. But yeah, and yeah, now it's like, and then we go, and then there's a commercial break, of course, after that reveal. I was like, holy crap. And Narcisse is like, if you're like your father, he's like thinking, he's just like his father, and he's like basically like accepting if Francis will kill him or something. And of course Francis doesn't. And then we learned that that whole ghost thing, it was just the nanny. Like he obviously told her what to say, and because he's trying to piece this together, and that whole thing was a hoax. The nanny, he obviously paid her. It's like, and oh, that was freaking awesome reveal. Narcisse, I freaking love you. Sorry, people, I like Narcisse more than Francis. He's freaking awesome. I still like Francis, but Narcisse is freaking awesome. But yeah, and Francis is like, what do you want? Like, Narcisse is like, you and Mary are gonna destroy this country with like equal punishment and all this justice and all that stuff. And I'm like thinking, yeah, because they were like, oh, equal punishment. They should all be punished equally. And it's like, it's just not a good situation. But yeah, and Francis, so Narcisse is like, of course he's going to hold that information against him because he's like, regicide, that's like a big deal. Patricide, I think it's called, the killing of the father, that's like a sin. And like, he's like, your heads could be on pikes, like him and Francis and Mary's heads. It's like, damn, Narcisse has some big old balls. I freaking love him. Okay. And Francis agrees to let those Catholic prisoners go, and yeah. And Mary finds out about it, and she's like, why are you doing this? It's like, I thought we were going to be equal to do this together. She's like, I have to be a king before I'm a husband, and blah, blah. It's like, and then later, like, the last few minutes of the episode, like, they're starting to, Francis and Mary, like, she keeps them pestering. It's like, what is it? And, like, Francis is, like, he doesn't want this secret revealed. He can't even tell Mary that he killed his father, and then the whole Narcisse, he can't tell her. And because earlier in the episode, she was like, I have faith, we'll have another you'll be pregnant again, you know? And then he's like, and then he's trying to get her to stop talking about this, and he's pretending that he doesn't think that Mary will give him a child, and to shut her up. And it's like, that did, Uncle's like, Francis, you asshole, that was low. That was so low. That was so harsh, and it does shut Mary up, but, and this is like, she's like obviously heartbroken. It's like, wow, it's like she thinks Francis lost faith in her. She had one miscarriage, and she's also like, at this point, they're probably 17, and it's like, she's obviously, we know she's fertile in history, so she'll have children, but wow. And so the episode ends with that, and wow, this episode was freaking good. I can't wait for it to be on the CW website again so I can watch the episode again. But yeah, oh my gosh, best episode of the series so far. Holy crap. 5 out of 5. I can't help it. I have to give this episode a 5 out of 5 stars. It's, holy crap, amazing. Also, it looks like next week will be a Mary Catherine episode because we haven't seen them like just like them like, you know, doing stuff together since like episode 1 of this season, and it looks like Francis and Mary and Catherine are like, their carriage is stopping. They're obviously hiding away or something. Something like that. All I know is Mary and Catherine focused, and I'm like, yes. But yeah, this is a freaking great episode. Holy crap. Also, I have to say one more thing. I mean, like, there are points, sometimes I might bring up, like, things in season 1 I also noticed. because I still, like, I need to get those out, so sometimes I might talk briefly about season 1 at the end of a review, and, but this time I noticed that Adelaide Kane's acting gets kind of stale whenever she's being serious, like, you know, and I can't be the only one who noticed, like, whenever she's getting, like, stern and serious, it's like, it's really stale, though, but other than that, she's really good, but all the actors, like, I mean, I'm not thinking, I don't think any of the acting is, like, spectacular, like, Emmy-winning, except for maybe, Megan Follows as Catherine, but yeah, but all the characters have grown into their roles, and it's like they're always new things to do with these characters, and I like that. Also, one more thing, I'm just gonna say Mary, like, Mary has, like, first of all, she has a great cry, like, Adelaide Kane has a great cry face. Like, whenever she cries, it doesn't look like, it's not an ugly cry face, like, it's really pretty, and then she also has a really beautiful, she has a beautiful smile, and it's like, she doesn't smile enough. Like, Jon Snow, oh, he has a beautiful, great smile, and he never smiles in the show. He'll certainly not be smiling and in season 5 of Game of Thrones, so, but yeah, Mary has a beautiful smile, and she needs to smile more, but yeah, that's all I have to say. Freaking great episode. I love it. I can't wait to watch it again, and then watch it again later. But man, now I have to wait another week for another episode. I wish this was like Netflix and they just gave it to you all at once, but I guess we would have to, the wait would be longer in between seasons, so. But yeah, can't wait for next week, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.